Welcome back to DeepTV, you all. This is Lindsay, your host. And today we have a very special show, a very dear show to my heart. This topic is about the importance of fathers in the home. And this topic hits hard home in my heart because I did grow up raised without my father, unfortunately. So I definitely want to touch on this topic. Now, I do not have a guest for you all today, but that's okay. You get a chance to hear more about me, your host, and get a chance to feel more about what Deep TV is all about. This is a very deep topic, I think, because it is very influential in our community and is very detrimental to our community. Now, I want to first start off by letting you know that the father in the family is one of the most important roles of the family. Now, what I'm going to be talking about, this is not going to be a long, drawn-out show. I'm going to get right to the nitty-gritty of it. But what I'm going to be talking about are the different levels of authority that a man has and the different levels of authority that is given to a son or to a daughter. So let's first start off with this. Now, as a young person, growing up, going to school, first learning how to handle blocks, or first learning what your colors are, first learning what your primary colors are, and your shapes and things of that nature. That information that you get in daycare or pre-K or Head Start, whatever it may be, that information you take home with you and you want to share it with mom or dad or your sisters or your brother. You want to share what you've learned in school. The reason that is because even as a child, you are longing to be heard, and you are longing to be accepted, and you are longing to be understood. I have a daughter now, 4 years old, in Head Start. Every day when I go pick her up from school, she's telling me about her day. She's telling me how excited she is. Actually, my daughter last month, she's Student of the Month. And now she has to make this big announcement on the intercom in her school. And I know she's going to be nervous. But it taught me something very quickly. She ran to me and she said, Daddy, I'm Student of the Month. And it was important to her to see my reaction. It was important to her to hear how I felt about this accomplishment. And for some reason, my 4-year-old daughter knew it was an accomplishment. That's not something that you're just, born with, that knowledge. But she understood that this was something good. Now, a lot of these things, when you talk about it in the general public or you talk about it to your loved ones, these are not just general statements that can be looked on one way. There are many different scenarios in different families around the world. I grew up without my dad, unfortunately. I believe my mom and my father divorced when I was about 2 years old. My life was very rocky because of it, and I had a lot of unanswered questions because of it also. And I made a lot of wrong decisions, I feel, because of the lack of my biological father being present in my life. And it took me a long time to understand what it meant to have that father figure in the home. When I look at the community and I look at the young men and women today in society, you can feel the rejection and you can feel the bitterness in the hearts of the young people, which causes rebellion to authority. It causes rebellion to authority. It causes you to have the attitude to where, well, my father left my mom. We got 4 or 5 brothers and sisters. We all struggling, at Christmas. We struggling at dinner time. We all got to fit together at the table. We all got to share. Moms is working hard to make ends meet. Now, like I said, this is not just a general statement that I'm making. It's always different from every household. But I will say, the presence of the father in the home and the presence of the father not in the home, the ratio is unbalanced. You have more successful men and women with both parents in the home working together. I mean, they don't have to have The best careers, they don't have to make a lot of money. You could be middle class, you could be low class, but the presence of both parents being in the home, working together, it breeds, it creates, I would say, better citizens, better people in our communities. And it definitely creates an environment in the home where it's balanced. You're not just dealing with mom who's upset. Daddy rolled out and left her with kids to take care of. She's working 2 jobs to try to take care of the family. You have what you call your latchkey kids that come home from school. Mom's not there, grandma's not there. They're all working, so you got a key. You had a key when you was young. You're not meant to have that responsibility. Yes, that happens in society, but you were meant to come home to leadership. You were meant to come home to instruction. The father is to give instruction. The father is to provide. Men, I want to tell you, you are meant to provide. You were born to provide. You were born to build. You were born to establish. You were born to dominate. You're not born to sleep with a woman, have a child, and then abandon that child. When you abandon that child, you are creating a lot of the problems that we have in society today. Now, my mom was very strong. She worked hard to provide for me, and I did have help. I had help from a lot of men in my life to help me along the way. But I feel sorry for the guys that don't have that kind of help and support. And then they tend to look to outsources for guidance. And those outside sources are not always the best sources. So to wrap this up, it is very important, if you are a man, it is very important to man up. Take care of those children, man. Even if you and the children's mom don't work out, get along for the children. Don't move out of state. Don't forget about them and say, oh, well, she'll meet another man. That's not on me. No, it is on you. That's your responsibility. Keep this in mind. When you go outside, when you go grocery shopping, when you go to the mall, if you see a young man walk past you, look like he's angry, look like he's dark, it could be a chance that he has been neglected. A father in the home, someone to teach him how to shoot a jump shot or teach him how to catch a football, to teach him how to treat a young woman. A lot of times we have in society, we don't know how to treat our women, and our women are very precious because we have not been taught this from a man. And then I had friends growing up in school who had mom and dad in the home, but they still wanted to sell drugs. They still wanted to indulge in behavior that was totally opposite of the foundation of their home. That's why I said before, this is not a general statement. There are very diverse situations and scenarios. But as a man today, you have the opportunity to make a change and to say, yeah, I dropped the ball. I left my children when they were young. If you are still alive, you have the opportunity to make a change and to try to make up lost time. It's not going to be easy, but I guarantee it'll be worth it for your children's future and for our next generation. That's it for today on DeepTV. This is Lindsay, your host. Check in with us again, and remember, we love you. There's nothing you can do about it.